もしもし。
Old friend here. I heard you were going to do something stupid.
バカじゃないよ。大切なことさ。
No, not in this case.
どうして？
Because in this case, the world is gonna lose a great mind, a visionary, an artist. And that would be a stupid thing to have that happen.
でも全部真っ暗で何もないんだ。意味もない。価値もない。
I know it's hard, but sometimes, even in the darkest of nights, you can find your way with the light of the moon. It's not all black. Read between the lines and you'll find something worth finding. It's the only way. Listen, man, if you don't find love in something, you'll be doomed to find hate in everything. Try to find the love, man. Take care.
What you just saw here was a man who nearly succumbed, but he didn't, because there was prevention. Here on Prevention, we take some of the leading causes of death and examine how they might be prevented through some of the small choices that we make. Today we examine suicide through the eyes of a young Takuma Matsuda, a starving young artist who came to New York from Japan in the hopes of making a dream come true. But dreams don't always come true. Young Takuma found that out the hard way, and when his dream didn't come true, he thought he'd take it upon himself to end his own life, right here, on this very cliff. And it would have panned out that way, if it were not for a phone call from an old friend. A phone call that reminded him about love. A phone call that reminded him about life. A phone call that reminded him of prevention. But death can't always be prevented. Next week we'll talk about heart disease, the silent killer, and we'll see it through the eyes of a young man who put his career before everything, including his own life, which in the end turned out to be his demise. Until next time, my friends, you're watching the show where death dares, with your host Frederick Alvarez. You're watching Prevention.
I wanted to make a show about ways to prevent death. There's so much death in the world. Surely some of it could be prevented. A show that highlights the positive possible outcomes. What happens if this character doesn't die? Can people learn from it? Will they then go on to prevent death themselves? Sometimes I think I'm doing a really good thing. Other times I think maybe I'm wasting my time. That maybe it would be more effective if a character actually did die. After all, we can't all be the main character all the time, right? I mean, even in the movies, sometimes the main character ends up... Wait.
This man has succumbed. Heart disease. because there wasn't prevention.